A new clue in the search tonight for the suspects who brutally beat and nearly killed a New York cop.
It turns out he's just one of nearly 20 victims of this dangerous and violent mob roaming the streets of Queens and the Bronx.
Video released by the NYPD. These are the 4 men police say violently robbed an off-duty police officer and fractured his skull. Investigators believe they're responsible for at least 19 brutal robberies, a spree spanning almost a month in the Bronx and in Queens.
I hold the politicians are the ones that are responsible for it. They should be held accountable for what's happening in this city, from the bail reform to the petty crimes. Officer Mohammed Chowdhury, who can be seen here being ambushed and tossed to the ground. He was jogging on Olmsted Avenue yesterday morning when it happened, just blocks from home. The assailant struck him repeatedly in his head before stealing his phone, car keys, and wallet. In this video from Monday morning released by police, you can see 3 of the suspects jump out of the Honda as the 4th acts as a getaway driver. Cops say here they're about to rob a 36-year-old man on Quimby Avenue. One flashed a knife as the other stole a phone and wallet. And as they sprint back to their Honda, they rob a couple, a 32-year-old woman and a 48-year-old man, pummeled. They had debit cards and $1,000 cash stolen. Just 10 minutes before those attacks, just a 5-minute drive away here on Watson Avenue, those 3 suspects jumped a 55-year-old man. Same MO. One of those suspects flashed a knife while a second man punched the victim in his head.
Of smothering her 2 children to death is expected in court later today. 42-year-old Gloria Asamoah was indicted by a grand jury earlier this week and charged with 2 counts of murder. The twin boy and girl were both found dead in their Mount Hope apartment back on December 18th. Asamoah had originally told police the children had recently been sick at school, but an autopsy determined they'd been smothered.
The NYPD needs your help in finding 4 men they say took part in a series of robberies in Manhattan. The first of 4 incidents took place on Sunday, April 30th at a business on 9th Avenue. The most recent was Tuesday, May 23rd at a store on West Houston Street. In total, investigators say the suspects made off with almost $20,000 in cash and merchandise. No one was injured in all 4 robberies, but if you have any information, call Crime Stopper.
We're going to begin with a terrifying video of a woman being dragged across the street while she was being robbed. Tonight, cops are arresting several migrants for dozens of robberies all across New York City.
From Sheepshead Bay to Lower Manhattan, police say a gang of recent migrants from Venezuela terrorized New Yorkers, robbing them violently and then hacking their phones to drain bank accounts of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Police say this is one part of one migrant gang, and there are others.
In recent months, a wave of migrant crime has washed over our city, but they are nonetheless preying on New Yorkers and making our city less safe.
Here, a thief on a moped violently steals a purse, but most importantly, a phone. The phone is then hacked to drain the person's bank accounts. This one pattern has nearly 150 victims, but is part of a larger pattern of criminal gangs police say they have discovered in the migrant community.
They're essentially ghost criminals. No criminal history, no photos, no cell phone, no social media. Sometimes we're even unclear on a name or a date of birth.
On mopeds, people in the city are worried about the increasing number of criminals using mopeds to carry out snatch and grab robberies.
Blink and you might just become a victim. Riding quickly along our roads and sidewalks, mopeds are central to a crime trend seen recently across New York City.
It must have been shocking and scary.
Police say 2 men on a black moped tried to grab a woman's necklace early Saturday afternoon as she walked with a friend. Surveillance video shows the 2 suspects riding along the sidewalk and stopping in front of the 2 women. She fights him off and both men flee. Officers say the attackers are males approximately in their 20s with thin builds. And on Friday around 1 p.m., police say a 64-year-old man was walking down the sidewalk on West 23rd Street. A passenger of a dirt bike gets off and forcibly snatches the man's watch and pushes him to the ground, according to police. Muggings on mopeds have been taking place most of the year. Take a look at this this video, you'll see men riding on the scooter hop up on the sidewalk, grab the woman's purse, and throw her to the ground. This happened in June in Brooklyn. In July, NYPD was also looking into 3 Queens moped armed robberies that occurred in less than an hour. Robberies, assaults, and even a drive-by shooting earlier this year in the Bronx that claimed the life of an 11-year-old girl were carried out by criminals driving these devices. Mopeds are fast becoming the criminals' right of choice on the Upper East Side.